Hey guys, DMO73 here, bringing you one of the two deck profiles for the day. This is the Turbo Pandora list that I was running, very similar to a lot of lists that we've seen around, but I made a couple personal choices that I'll go into when we get there to kind of make it my own and kind of tweak it to our current meta. Didn't end up playing it in the tournament because I ended up judging, but still wanted to go over the list with you guys. So obviously our ruler is Pandora Dark, or Pandora Girl of the Box, and then when you flip her over it's Pandora Dark, making your opponent discard all their cards. One thing to note about this build is it doesn't run any Spirals of Despair or anything, so once Pandora hits the board, feel free to block with her and Shumple block, because she's not going to need to really do much else other than just make sure your opponent discarded all their cards. So that's something to just keep in mind. For the stone lineup, 4 black-green, 3 white-green, and 3 red-green. A lot of people have been running Grusbalesta and Fiethsings in the main and stuff like that. I didn't really want to... I knew that if I was going to be playing Turbo Pandora, I never wanted to miss a drop with Gretel, so I ended up taking Grusbalesta and Fiethsing out and putting in the more red source so that I can use Flames of Outerworld faster, and just so that I never ever miss that drop with Gretel. Because doing so, especially if you're going on the play in game 1, can just mean that you're just done if you miss that Gretel. It's just too unfortunate. 4 Elvish Priests to help ramp, Turbo Pandora, Familiar of Holy Wind to serve as kind of chump box, pocket pickoffs for aggro decks as well as to help you dig, 4 Gretels to help you ramp even more. So pretty standard like early game package. Next up, a couple of Cinderellas. These are mainly to serve after you've hit Pandora. Maybe you have Seth on the board. You can cause some pretty cool shenanigans with Seth and Cindy that I'll go over when I get there. So I'll kind of set this aside and talk to you about it in a little bit. Moving on, we have 4 Fiethsings, the Magus of Holy Wind, serves as a quick cast blocker, being able to save yourself from damage, as well as helping you get to that Turbo Pandora faster, because she can generate will of any color, so whatever you're missing, Fiethsing can help grab it. Plus she can put in damage as well. 3 Seth the Arbiter, MVP of this deck. His effects are amazing. If your opponent discards a card for any reason, for every card they discard, you draw a card. So if your opponent has 4 cards, when you turbo flip them for Pandora, you draw 4 cards. Really, really powerful. And then the second part is, when a Resonator is put into your opponent's graveyard, or put into a graveyard from your opponent's field, you can return a Resonator from your graveyard to your hand. And so I'll go ahead and talk about that combo I was talking about now. Say you have Seth on board, and you have Cinderella on board, and you have like several copies of Gretel or some chump blockers or something like that. You can use Cinderella to banish your guys to the grave to kill their guys. Seth can trigger returning all your guys back to your hand, and what the cool thing about Gretel and stuff like that is if you still have will left over, you can then immediately resummon them. So you can possibly like Gretel loop them, get way far ahead in will in stones, while at the same time cutting down their board presence. Really, really cool trick. There's other ways to do it as well, but Cinderella is just one of those versions that helps with it. Really, really amazing. Then we have 0 the Magus of Null to help put damage on board, as well to deal with, you know, fields of kitties and Cheshire Cats and stuff like that. You can just flash it in, kill a bunch of stuff, and if they have that while you have Seth, then you massively plus. So really, really cool. A Carmilla, because it's essentially another removal source that forces them to cancel with Xeex. A lot of people are running absolute cake zones right now, and so having a kill option that isn't a normal spell is really, really good. Plus, again, more damage to put on board because of her 8/8 strength. And then finish it off with a couple of Mephistopheles just to close out games. This deck is going to be able to put on small creatures enough that sacrificing for Meph isn't that big of a deal. Plus with Seth you can just recur them. Plus this is to help you get rid of J-rulers that are troublesome as well. The spell lineup, 4 absolute cake zones, 4 Xeex, 1 Xyz, that's just the counter engine for this one. And then the removal is 2 Stoning to Death and 3 Flames of Outerworld. To be able to kill Mephistopheles, to be able to put damage on J-rulers without having to worry about anything. Uncancelable damage is always good. So that's what that's for. Now, because I did side in the match, I'm going to show you guys what I was using for my side deck. I was using a Scheherazade, Liberator of Wind, to be able to play in like the control mirror. If I wanted to search for a card, pull some shenanigans with Necronomicon and stuff like that. Then I played Christie, just in case I played up against a Dracula player, going second, so I could just threaten them to say, like, don't you worry about trying to flip that Dracula, because I'm just going to kill it. And then obviously an Abdul. Typically what I go to in game 2 is Abdul, just because it's more powerful. And then to go along with Abdul, Grusbalesta to make him easier to hit, and 2 Gardeas to be able to search that Grusbalesta faster. And then I run a Necronomicon to be able to kind of close out late games. The 4th Flames of Outerworld, a Return to Stories just in case I play against a Grim player. Some Dreams of Juliet to be able to service some addition hate if I need to. Specifically for Odd Grow and other aggro decks, I got Awakening at the end. 4-drop, just -7/-7 to everything. Really, really powerful. And then a couple of Sign to the Futures just in case, again, for aggro matchups, in case I needed to be able to stop their early aggression for cheap. So yeah, guys, that is the deck. Go ahead, let me know what you thought about it, what you would change, what you, how you would run it differently. I always like to hear that, so just go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And check out the other deck profile for the day, the Snow White one from Jonathan Wearett. And until next time, guys, this is DMO73, signing off.